Relisha Rudd's laughter was the kind that could fill a room and make even the most tired social worker smile. She was 8 years old, small for her age, with bright, curious eyes and a love for dancing in pink sneakers. She lived with her mother and siblings in a shelter in Washington, D.C., a place where hope sometimes felt as thin as the blankets on the beds, but Relisha managed to find joy in the smallest things: a new hair ribbon, a coloring book, the promise of a field trip. Relisha's world was not an easy one. The shelter was crowded and loud, and her mother, Shamika, did her best to keep the family together. Still, Relisha dreamed of becoming a teacher, and she loved school, where her teachers described her as gentle and eager to please. She was the kind of child who would share her snack with a classmate who'd forgotten theirs, or who would wrap her arms around her little brothers when the world outside their room felt too big. In the spring of 2014, Relisha's life took a turn that no one could have foreseen. A man named Khalil Tatum worked as a janitor at the shelter. He was friendly, always quick with a joke, and he seemed to take a special interest in Relisha. He would bring her small gifts, take her on trips to museums and parks, and tell her mother that he could help with babysitting or finding work. Shamika, struggling to keep her family afloat, trusted him. After all, he worked at the shelter, and he seemed to care about her daughter's happiness. But then, one day, Relisha didn't come home. At first, her absence was masked by confusion: a note here, a phone call there, stories about sleepovers and trips. Days passed before anyone outside her family realized she was missing. When authorities finally began to ask questions, they discovered that Relisha had not been seen at school for weeks. The shelter staff had not reported her absence, and her mother's explanations became increasingly vague.